Hey everybody, it's Mike, or Mike the Average Guy. I just completed week 2 of Nutrisystem. I want to go back and just reiterate who I am from the first videos that I did. I did Nutrisystem about a year and a half ago, and it worked very well, and I've done it before that. The reason my name, Mike the Average Guy, is because I'm just like you. We're all the same. We have the same, problems as we go through life. I'm not getting paid to do anything. I'm just hoping that, if I can inspire one person to follow me or to help them on their journey, that's great, and that's enough. So week 2, I lost, surprisingly, I will say, 3.0 pounds. So I started at 254.8 when I started 2 weeks ago. The funny thing is, a week before that, I was actually 2 more pounds heavier. When I knew I was going to start, I started eating a little bit better until everything came in the mail. But being on just Nutrisystem for the past 2 weeks, I have lost 13 pounds. This week was, in a way, surprising because I know the second week you're going to slow down as your body adjusts. You're starting to add in more fruits, and different. Well, I forget what the thing is called for the first week. It's something with 13 pounds. I don't remember what they call it. Where they're saying you lose 13 pounds your first month. Well, I hit that mark exactly after 2 weeks. But after the first week, you start adding back in fruits, more fruits, vegetables, extra carbs, extra protein. I am not hungry ever. At all. This week, in fact, I have to force myself to eat a lot of the times, and I'm not always perfect. So I'm in sales. I travel for work. Over the past week, I think I've had 3 lunches out to eat. I had a dinner where I was out to eat, and I just made smart decisions on all of those. When I'm going to lunch, I'm having I'm getting fish or blackened fish or some fish with maybe a salsa on it, or a little bit of some type of seasoning that's on there. And then I'm going with the vegetables. Yesterday, for instance, I had a blackened tilapia, I believe, and got rid of, instead of the potatoes that came, they gave me an extra vegetable. So I had both green beans and mixed vegetables, which was nice. And it was very good. Passed up the bread too. When I'm going out, in fact, I'm going out tonight. I have a happy hour for work. I'll have a couple drinks, or I might alternate between, I drink Jack. I might alternate between a Jack and a water in between there. But that's not a big issue for me. So as of yesterday, what was funny, I was only down about 1.5 pounds, and I really wanted to get to that 2 pounds. And so when I stepped on the scale this morning, pleasantly surprised to be down a full 3 pounds. So now that I'm at 241.8, I'm really hoping next week to get under that 240 mark. And this is the time. I'm never going back there. And then I know I'm going to be on my 2 to 3 pounds a week. This last week, I didn't get any exercise in, except I play basketball on Thursday nights. I was able to play basketball, and I'm building up my cardio. I do have some knee issues, so that's hurting some things. But hey, we all have issues. At least right now, I don't need knee replacement surgery like they were talking. At least right now, we're not going to do that. Let's see. So over the week, much more of the frozen foods that I got into. So I was very happy in week 2. As I've mentioned, I'm on whatever the ultimate plan is, where you can pick everything you want. And I like that. It's worth a little bit of extra money for me. I think overall, the frozen foods just adds a little bit more flavor for me. There is some things I'm not liking as much, so I won't order as much. And the same with some of the unfrozen foods. There's several that I like that I still will continue to order of those. So my second order should be coming this week. In fact, when you go to do the second order, at least what I did, or even the third, if you hit within there, hey, I want to delay my order, they delayed my order, or instead of delaying the order, they said, if you don't delay it, we'll give you $25 off. So, hey, that was a free $25 that I wouldn't have got if I wasn't going to do something and back out before I purchased the plan. So I saved $25 there. Mine starts at $350. Or right around $350. So I saved $25 there and owed like $320, and I got 20% off, which I'm putting that video out there, I promise, by this weekend sometime. Another 20% off so I saved another $65. So I basically saved about $90 from the $350 and ended up paying somewhere around $260 for the month, which takes that to roughly a little over $9 a day. And I will put that out there with some other hints that I have found work. But for the money thing, it's a quick, easy one to save. Let's see, what else? So this week, I mentioned I got a lot of the frozen foods. I really like, me personally, I like, for lunches, I get a lot of the hamburgers. They're like sliders, but I get those and chicken. And I really seem to like those a lot, especially if what I'll say is doctor them up. I'll put on tomatoes and onions and ketchup and mustard and maybe a little more than normal, and just take my time eating them. I think they're really good. The same with the chicken. And I will also put on, for dinner, for some reason, and I liked this last time, I like the meatloaf sandwich. I don't know. It just feels like there's something there. But I also have a lot of the frozen box dinners. There's certain ones that I like. I just had it was like a steak and broccoli last night with chorizo. No, it wasn't that. It was some type of rice. I'll have to look. But it was okay. There was something, I'll probably get one of those in order going forward. So once a month, once every 28 days, I'll eat that, which I do with a lot of mine, is because you can really break it up. And there's some that I like that I'll order, I look at 28 days, I might order 8 to 10 of them, because I do enjoy them that much. Tonight, I'm actually going to have one of the frozen pizzas, that I tend to like. And I don't mind the boxed ones either. That come in the dry goods. I've eaten those a lot. In fact, I had one of those. My kids laugh at me when I had it. But my son this weekend, so, being everyday life as you and I, this weekend, my son, again, because he's all excited about it with our bread maker, made homemade dough and a homemade pizza with double the dough. So instead of my dinner that night, I ended up having 2 slices, which should have only had 1. Then I went back later on and had another 1 and maybe a couple bites more. But I didn't put, on the first couple, I didn't put the pepperoni. I just put mushrooms and onions on, and I think that was all. But normally I'll put hot peppers and things like that on. So I'll stay away from the pepperoni that I love. What I'll say is, I won't say that I cheated, but it was part of everyday life. I had a couple pieces of pepperoni at some point. They were sliced. I can't think of cheese and pepperoni, but just little pieces. And that's part of everyday life, because I don't believe in where I'm trying to follow the program, and I will, and you should too, as well as I can. I'm not saying I'm never going to eat this again or that. It's learning to. The reason we're all on Nutrisystem, in my opinion, is portion control. That's for me, and that is the main reason. The meals are already made. I don't have to worry about anything else. I love salads, so I've been making, with lunches and with dinners. I'll get a ton of iceberg lettuce, which I love, and I'll throw on tomatoes, onions, even a hard-boiled egg, which I haven't got to yet. I just have not had time to boil up some eggs, because that's also a good thing to have in the morning. Have an extra, with whatever. If you're having a muffin, or I got a lot for breakfast, these frozen omelets. They're not bad. They're definitely not bad with sausage. And I've mentioned before, I do the egg McMuffin, sausage McMuffin type food. It just, to me, it feels a little bit more that there's something on it. So once again, and I'll mention every week, keep up your water. I felt I was a little off this week on my water. I still did drink a ton of liquid. I know I went crazy on the diet soda this weekend because I buy this diet cream soda and diet orange, but this diet cream soda, oh, the sweet that it gives you, I don't want any other sweets. And I've even passed on the snack several times, my late night snack. I did get, what I'll tell you, there's with the frozen thing, and it's new from when I did it, it's tiramisu. Don't smell it. It didn't smell too good. I don't usually smell my food. But the tiramisu is actually, the jury's still out, but I think I'm going to keep getting them. So I get about 10 of those. And I might even go up a little higher. But I also, one of my snacks, I probably get 20 of the soft pretzels. And you double your snacks. So if it's 28 days, you have 56 snacks because you're doing 2 a day. Okay? I'll talk to everyone next week.